Welcome. I'm the Gorgeous Gamer, and this is a taste of, where I give you a quick sample of a current game, going over 5 points of interest while showing you some footage to boot. Today, we taste Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Valhalla is the 12th, not counting all the spin offs, of the ever evolving AC series. This time around, we're exploring the mythology of the Vikings during the 9th century AD as they look to invade the rich lands of England. Valhalla, if you've never played an AC game before, is a third person, open world, action adventure RPG. Let's dive in.
Graphics. Pretty great. I mean, strolling around dreary England could be incredibly boring with all gray, but Valhalla really mixes in great textures with the colors in the cities and outfits and surrounding countryside that keep everything looking fresh. It just looks like something out of a painting. One thing I did notice being an AC fan, however, is that while Valhalla came out 2 years after Odyssey, in my opinion, Odyssey still has slightly superior graphics, especially during the cutscenes.
Caught anything?
Not today. The fish aren't biting. Too many passing boats churning the water.
I lack the patience for pole fishing.
Sound.
I would have better luck with
Like
my bow.
most AC games of
Shooting fish
recent,
with
the
a bow.
dialogue and voice
That could work.
acting is superior. While I didn't spend any time personally with the female version of Eivor, since I chose the female version in Odyssey, I really enjoyed the male version of Eivor. The ambient sounds and music are, as usual, great, especially when raiding. Hearing the shouts of people in distress throughout the village, the flames licking the burning buildings, the clanging of weapons with all my crew around me, the death rattle of my horn blowing, it just really adds to that adrenaline spike when you go into raiding. Even the more serene moments are captivating. Riding through the fields and hearing the crows in the sky, the horse hooves beat on, dirt or pavement, and the music, just all of it makes it feel more epic. Story. It's long. Like, really long. Eivor is great and has a fantastic, engaging story, but the bloat from the side questing and just how big everything is really can seriously get in the way, especially if you're a perfectionist looking to claim every wealth, every mystery, every artifact. It's a slogfest. By the third or fourth region, I was getting a bit tired of the repetitiveness, and since I couldn't 100% decipher if the dot on the map would truly help me and lead to something I wouldn't want to miss, especially with the blue and white dots, I found myself still being forced to check them out every single time I came across them in a new area. Gameplay. The skill tree really bugged me in Valhalla. So many passive points just seemingly scattered about with no cohesive reasoning behind it. You spend all these points in these passive skills that do next to nothing other than add numbers to your skill sheet. Then you finally get to this skill and you do feel rewarded. Skills and abilities are awesome and well designed and they feel deserved, but not so godlike OP compared to Odyssey. They definitely did help sway battle in your direction though. I loved the weapons and armor sets and how you crafted and upgraded in this game. The weapons, really, the sheer amount that you could choose from combat felt really sharp, and you really felt a difference between wielding a two-handed broadsword versus a dual axe or spear or axe and flail. I enjoyed my time cruising the rivers, going place to place. It felt like a break from the constant lull of riding everywhere. However, it doesn't hold a candle to Odyssey's boat experience, especially considering that there's really no combat in it. Traversing the landscape and climbing the buildings like most AC games still feels very fluid and fun. By far, one of the best things about the game is raiding villages or castles. It stands out as one of the most fun portions of Valhalla, on top of also expanding your village. Throughout the campaign, you find extra resources scattered about, which allow you for different upgrades in your village, and that was really refreshing that anytime you came home, there was something to do in your main home. Pros. The series has evolved quite a bit recently, diving deeper into the RPG action element when it comes to combat, style, gear, crafting, skills, and this all feels good to me. And Valhalla really did a good job of polishing some of the mechanics and bloating of its predecessors. If you like AC games, you're gonna love Valhalla. If you're into Norse mythology like Thor and Odin, you'll love Valhalla. The main story is really good, and there are also a lot of memorable moments in side quests scattered throughout. Cons. Probably my biggest complaint is where is the loot? Sure, I didn't want to see the bloat like Odyssey where after every single battle I had to check my inventory, but 95% of the time you find nothing new in Valhalla. I spent all of my time upgrading what few items I did have because I never found anything new. It felt like it went too far the opposite direction. I really wish I had more options to choose from. Crafting mats for upgrades could be kind of hard to find too, so as you started to get to the top tier, it was challenging to not feel gimped without going out of your way and hunting for resources to get that final upgrade to feel more active in combat. Also, the game just felt really tedious regarding zones. I would have preferred a much shorter, tighter, more condensed story, and even smaller regions. I love that they're trying to go with a specific scope, but sometimes it just wasn't worth the time of traveling so much with almost zero engagement.
Silver will be enough to bring me peace.
I will find you and kill you.
12 pieces of silver,
You'll soon be dead enough.
a head of cabbage,